day. Clever, huh? Alright, best of 5, PvZ. I actually think we're in for a fun time as we kick off to the bottom left-hand corner of the map to begin with. This is Hellscape, and in the bottom left, our red Protoss player is going to be herO. Best of 5 here, of course. Best of 5 second semi-final today is MaxBax versus Clem, but first we figure out who will be playing in the semi-final, in the grand finals from this top semi-final, with SHIN sitting on the other side. He's our blue Zerg player, and this CVP gets ready to kick on off. We're ready to go. I'm excited to get this underway, guys. Like I said, I think we've got a good day today. It's only a 3 series, but these are players that I do think should be able to compete with each other. I have just been talking about how I think herO has been getting better and better against SHIN and how SHIN has not been performing as much against herO. I wonder if coming into a series here where SHIN's had a couple of days to know he's going to be playing herO or so, if that has any effect, or if it has any impact or not. Because I could see that maybe being a little bit of a factor as well, something that maybe SHIN could utilize in his favor perhaps. herO very good though right now and just at a very high level, so we will see. We'll see what's up as we get ready to kick off this opening map of the best of 5. Let's find the beautiful obs. But Inu and Indian today, my personal 2 favorite obs in the scene. Grab one of them. Go from there. Next in the Cybercore, coming through. Match gas pool coming up as well. Just get ourselves settling here as the Nexus Cybercore and Assimilator continue to come up as well. That probe heads towards the upper right-hand side to try and see a little bit of what's going on. Wellings is going to be coming around. Just going to see the Adept popping. A couple Lings going to chase the probe. And the Ling speed will be continuing up as well. So yeah, probe coming around. And you have the Stargate coming up. Probes, the Adept, the Warp Gate coming in. And those couple of units continue to come around as well. Stalker just going to be coming about. It's going to be seeing the Ling speed coming through. Add some Lings, the Queen. Just continue to bring that all around as the Stalker returns back to the bottom left-hand side. We're going to drop a gateway down here from herO. Again, the Cybercore will be finishing very shortly. Add that Oracle in. The Warp Gate still very much so on its way up. And that hatchery coming up on the 3rd base as well. So we'll get that hatch coming through as these Zerglings are going to go steaming across the map. So a bunch of Lings just going to run their way across toward the bottom left to try and put some pressure on here over these next few moments as a couple of Adepts are already poised to take the 3rd. This is Hellscape. This is the only series of this best of 5 you'll see that is, or the only map of this best of 5 series that will be a map that you may be less familiar with outside of the usual map pool. That is a cancel. This map, when I've seen it played, is huge. I mean, to me, this is the sort of map that can go a long way. It can definitely have some long games. It can get very drawn out. There's a lot of bases to take. It becomes very interesting, personally, I think. So I actually kind of like this map. I don't know if I love just how big it seems to play out, but it's been fun to watch. There's a herO going to ping over to the other 3rd base, so moving from the linear 3rd to the triangular 3rd. The Zergling's going to move back out onto the map as the Oracle will activate, and a few Zerglings continue to go down. So those Lings continue to get picked off as 5 more drones continue to come in. We add on the Spore Crawlers, and the preparation at home begins from SHIN. Having those Spores ready means these Oracles should not be able to do too much. There's a couple of Overlords come through, the Queens gather, and again they're just going to sit there ready to turn Oracles back away if needed. Queens will fire. Again, a couple of drones taking damage. Our Oracle's turned back up into the natural as well. The Overlord popping through. Queen's going to do what they can. One Oracle's actually going to go down. What a great start for SHIN. Cancels the 3rd base. Kills off an Oracle, taking 0 damage at all. There's going to be less Oracle firepower to help, deal with Zerglings as they try and defend these Adepts. The Queens and the Lings together. The Adepts will not shade in there. Unsure of the unknown. As the Oracle will activate again. The Lings will turn away, taking a few losses, but we're getting Creep Tumors out. The Queens are safe. These Adepts I don't think are going to really commit at this point. There's just too many Zerglings to really justify it. And so we are heading into a fantastic starting point for Shin. Everything's really gone his way early. He's going to take this half blue, half gold base on the bottom side as well. This is a 8-patch base with 3 golds. It's not quite half and half. It's 5/8. Or 3/8 of gold base. What's that like? 0.3, 37.5% gold. I mean, there's no good way to say that. We'll just call it half and half. As a couple of oracles come about. If they give me a half and half ice cream and like, there's a little bit more chocolate in there than vanilla or something, yeah, I'll be okay with it, right? Like, I'll still call it a half and half. So we can call this base a half and half as well, as the Zergling production does continue from Shin. The Overlord coming up, the Blink coming through. And yeah, the Hydralisk Den is going to come up on the back of that third base, so we see where Shin is going to. I wonder how aggressive he gets off of the, does he want to keep droning while getting into Hydras? Does he want to just cut and go for one big push? I think he's got to keep droning. I think the Hydra Den's actually too late to really be like a big Link Hydra time or anything of the sorts. As Blink is done, this is interesting because the Adepts never committed, so they're still here. There's not that many Stalkers actually, as the first wraparound comes in. The Oracle's using a Stasis Ward initially. What? Was there a Stasis Ward right in the center there? Was that Oracle casting and I didn't even realize it? Oh my goodness, everything gets caught. It's a scary moment from Shin because he's obviously so close to getting the Hydras out, but they're not here yet, so all of that investment is not paying out. The Lings are counterattacking, they're going to force the Oracles back home, so that's nice, and it's going to be something for Shin. So that's one of the reasons he doesn't have as many Lings over here. A couple of Stalkers getting caught for herO, as it's a little bit chaotic all around. Everyone is scrambling. Shin actually does save some of the Lings from across the map as well. So he is able to protect a few of these units. So the Lings get back. They're going to get towards those Stalkers. And we're going to try and play pickoffs in the next few moments as the Lings continue to run away. The Hydras as well. And the Ling Hydra and the Queens continue up. Those few Hydras finishing. +1 missiles coming through. The Muscular Augments coming up as well. Templar Archives +1 and Charge. All very much so on the way. So we continue to bring that all out for now, as we continue to settle ourselves into this game number 1. Yeah, this is heating up to be a fun series because I like what Shin's doing. He's taking some control of this game. He's actually coming out swinging, He's coming out and he's got purpose in his, purpose in his game. He's absolutely meaning it, so I like it. I like what we're seeing out of Shin here. I feel like it's very positive. Like I say, if we want a good series between these two, this is kind of the start you want to see. As he does get this 4th base now active. Still kind of low on drones, so 67 drones only. It means that he's kind of committed with this attack. It's a good time to be committed though, because Storm's not done yet. I think there should be at least some potential to get damage done here. And then maybe you can get, drones up afterwards. herO hits a supply block, losing that pylon. That's a huge deal. There's no new pylons on the way. So actually, that's a major problem. As we set up a bunch of the Stasis Wards already. There's one Stasis left there. It's going to catch a few Hydras as well. Little sloppy from Shin, I would say. The Banes on the other side get caught in a Stasis, but when they get free, they will have Bane speed. As Shin collapses onto this base, Storm is still not really anywhere near to being done, considering that this army is right on top of your 3rd base now. Some Banes are reaching the High Templar. 2 High Templars survive, 1 hit from death. But a few more Banelings and they will go down too, and we're still not exactly close to Storm being finished here. 10 seconds away. Can these Banes reach those High Templar before the Storms? The Zealots try and hold them up. The Stalkers blink through. The Storms will come out, but we kind of missed the first one. The second one is beautiful, but we've got Hydras and Lings leaking into the natural. I actually would have liked to see that pylon go down. That was a lot of gateways we could have depowered, but he'd rather come across here and try and prioritize getting rid of these few Stalkers. Finish off the 3rd base. The Archon tucked in the corner is lovely. That's going to be a really nice defensive point to give you at least a chance from herO, but it's not going to be good enough in a game that Shin kind of controlled from the very get-go. He is going to dominate, and he is going to come out with that 1-0 lead the game, as we are going to have ourselves in the bottom left-hand corner. The Blue Protoss player, he is going to be down a map and looking to bounce back, as that last game just never got under his control. It was snatched away from him at every single point. It is herO in the bottom left-hand side. He battles against the Red Zerg in the bottom right corner of the map. It is Shin. Game 2 of this best of 5 series. As we kick it off, we get this underway, and we look to see what the plan is going to be. for our second game. What will herO do? What is SHIN going to try and find? El Dorado will work quite differently. There's a lot of easier to take bases here. And obviously a lot of multiple different ways you can take those bases specifically that make this map very interesting and kind of unique throughout the early stages. Couple drones coming about, hatch coming through, the gate and the assembler coming over, probe building up as well, and just have ourselves the extractor dropping straight down there as the drone will put a pool down. So we're going to get hatch, gas pool, all of that coming in to play here for this game too. Lovely stuff. How's everyone feeling today? Again, I hope you're all feeling wonderful. First of all, just like to mention, if you're on the YouTube stream right now, you're here early, I'd really appreciate it if you could take a second to scroll down on the stream and just click that like button. It takes 2 seconds. It helps the stream out so much. I wouldn't take my time to tell you guys this every single day if it didn't help. So please do consider dropping a quick little like on the YouTube stream. We're sat below 10 right now, so let's try and push that up a little bit. We've got some great games today. It'd be great to get the algorithm to promote our stream to a few more people that might want to tune in and watch. So do give that a quick click. And of course, if you want to subscribe to the YouTube as well, you're very welcome to do so. Just want to mention early in this series, just in case we put this one on YouTube, I want to get this message out a little bit more on the YouTube as well, to kind of, not just our YouTube live streams, but on our YouTube uploads. Just to check out the Patreon page as well. This is not a WardiTV tournament, but obviously we are constantly running WardiTV tournaments. If you would like to see more of those WardiTV tournaments and like to help support them, the Patreon page at patreon.com/WardiTV is the perfect place to be. So do check that out, patreon.com/WardiTV. 100% of your pledge on a Patreon page will go directly into tournament prize pools. So if you would like to support more WardiTV tournaments, do consider that. Like I say, would love to just get that message a bit more out on our YouTube uploads, because I think we're actually getting quite a bit of success on the Patreon because of that lately. So just trying to cover my bases, get that one said while we're in game instead of between games every now and then, because we obviously cut out the between games on the YouTube uploads. As we do have our Stargate is finishing shortly. The Adept and the Warp Gate continue through. Add a couple more probes on in there. And this Adept just shading by on the third base as well. This Adept already hitting the hatchery on the natural. So again, we find ourselves a chance to deal some damage in the early stages with the Adept poking about. But it's nothing really, I say deal some damage. Not really deal some damage, just artificial damage. A shot here and a shot there. A couple of Adepts is going to shade back. As you do see, our Oracle is about to finish up, so getting that completed, the Warp Gate coming through. Probe comes over, the Lings move about. Again, Hatchery about to finish. The Spore Crawl coming in as well. Had a Queen on, had some drones on. Got a couple of Adepts coming through as drones will be going down. 5-6 drones getting knocked away at there. 7 drones going down. Couple of Queens. Gonna be here. This is 9 drones dead. Oh, you know what it is? I feel like just as the SHIN hype was starting to get going, the SHIN hype is being closed quite quickly right now. This is bad. 10 drones down. The Lings do nothing at all. I mean, they will not cancel that base either with the Oracle nearby. So that is going to be truly across the board. I think fair to say probably just going to be a disaster as the Lings come back over to that right side as well. He's going to shoot the Oracles, get rid of the Creep Teamer right there. What happened in Game 1? Look, recap, because obviously people are still just tuning in early. Game 1 was pretty just dominant from SHIN. He killed an Oracle early, he got in and killed some probes early as well. Oh no, he cancelled the third base initially. A run by after when herO was attacking, killed a few probes as well, and he basically just came across, he deflected all the pressure. herO had to go home with the Oracles, and so then he pulled back with the Stalks to deal with the run by. And so SHIN just had a really good setup overall, and herO was also building more and more Oracles, because he lost one, but then he still had 3 in the end. So he just kept rebuilding Oracles, and he was just quite late on Storm, so that when SHIN hit with Lingbane Hydra, Storm was way too far from being done. Plus, SHIN had already had a good game as well. So yeah, very nice. Very neat. As a couple of oracles will activate and a few drones go down again. I mean, this is obviously a disaster. There's the +1, the blink coming about. Just going to be seeing the oracles coming through. That battery continues up. The Roach Roaring about to finish. Flare, Zerglings, and Queen producing as well. To continue to bring this about, we get one more drone going down on the upper right-hand side. The Zerglings will continue to move out into the middle of the map. Again, an evolution chamber goes down on the third base as well. Yeah, this is just a disaster for SHIN. I mean, this is what, like 20 drones dead in this game already? 19? You do not really recover from this at all. This is really rough. So, So this is going to get a couple of lings. The Oracle's still overhead. The blink about to finish. The +1 is coming up. 2 more Stalkers very much so on the way. And that Temple Archive's coming in as we just have the Zerglings continuing to come about. The Stalkers will be there as well. Zerglings taking damage. The Oracle's coming back over to the sides. I really just do not see SHIN. I mean, it's just so much damage. And it's not just like at one point in the game. It's like throughout the game. So you're consistently being hemorrhaged in terms of where you can be at and what you can do. So you're limping along, trying to just get up an economy, trying to replace what you've lost, trying to still produce an army at the same time. You know, you've got to pick and choose what you're building. I mean, here he's built, you know, he's not even really building economy anymore. He's started with 57 drones, so you're building army. But the army's going to struggle because it's not going to really be teched up either, right? This tech is not great. It's roaches. I know a Hydrogen starting, but even that is not exactly ideal. Things will try and find a counterattack because obviously SHIN recognizing there has to be some way for him to start pulling this back. But he's not even mined out this area here, so defending this hatchery is very difficult, and he doesn't really want to be on the bottom side of the map chasing this army away because he has no way to get back to the top side, which if he wants to be aggressive is where he's going to need to be because that's where herO's base is. It's on the top side of the map. No other part of this map is mined out, so he's going to have to defend down here and then go back through that same choke just to try, if he wants to then get aggressive himself. I mean, he is now droning up once again, getting an infestation pit down. I don't know what you really aim for at this point. Maybe you try and drop a hive in? Or something to that effect. Maybe that would be a reasonable way to go about this. These Zealots and the High Templars are going to be coming about. Spellcrawler finishing through. Those things, a few of them just going to back away. A couple of those stasis wards down on the bottom. Again, the few Stalkers going to get rid of a Creep Tumor. Another nice Storm coming down. Lings and Roaches taking some hits. I mean, hard to really make much excitement in this. This is not a Zerg army that has any chance of breaking through this Protoss force. Another Storm on the right side. I don't even think we needed Storms. I actually think the Stalkers alone probably could have won this fight. The Storm is just a nice little, you know, icing on the cake. The cake was already iced. It's like, you know, you're getting one of the fancy cakes. It's got double icing on it. Is that fancy to have double sets of icing? I don't even know. It's got all the decorations on top, I guess. It doesn't just have ice. In the bottom left-hand side, we're going to have ourselves the red Protoss player. We are going to have herO. He ties up this series. I mean, that was really just a very good set of aggression and a set of attacks that really lead him to a 1-1 scoreline here. On the top right, our blue Zerg is going to be SHIN. So, away we go, and let's see. Ooh, a little proxy hatch action from SHIN. Proxying the hatch up across the map, so yeah, we actually do have a few probes pulling onto this here. Everyone's following this freaking probe on the other side. There's a proxy hatch, guys! I'm trying to get my observers in play. Oh, but this proxy hatch is obviously quite exciting. As we do see a few probes nibbling up, the hatchery taking damage. The Zealot going to Corona boost. A couple of hatches come through. And get ourselves settled in here. No! No, this probe! He just murdered another probe! Oh my god! Did he think he was undercover? Did he think he placed this hatchery? This probe needs to go back to school and learn the difference between a probe and a drone. And hatcheries is where the drone... He's like, well, the drone's not here anymore. It must be one of the probes. But no, the drone's inside the hatchery. Oh, this probe murders another innocent probe. Stay in school, kids, otherwise you might make a similar mistake in your life, as the proxy hatch will be denied. Obviously, the most major part of this from Shin is you're trying to throw your opponent off their game. And a couple of zealots and probes is going to move through. The adept is going to chrono boost on the gateway. You see those zealots beginning to move out. And drone tried for the extractor trick, but yeah, Hero realized exactly what he was going to try and do. Not the extractor trick, the gas steal. He realized what he was trying to do, so he puts the probe there to block it and now takes the gas without that being denied. So very neatly done. As the fuse circlings, the queen, and the link speed all continue to come about, so we continue to bring that online as well. So I had the drone in the corner just in case I get some use further down the line. But there's going to be two zealots across the map right here, so they are going to be applying some pressure, causing some annoyance. Obviously, you're forced into these units, so you may as well try and make use of them. That's exactly what we just tried to do there. Take a few moments and settle down. Links be coming up, a few drones and the queens coming in as well. And the Oracle coming about, the Adept and the Warp Gate coming up also, so bring all of that through, get all of that underway. And that link speed continues to come through for a few moments here, so we get that set up as well. End up shading, just going to get back up towards the center. Again, a couple of overlords and the drones coming through as well. Add on a hatchery, get that underway. And away we go! Waiting for this harass to continue. Obviously, Shin really took too much drone damage last game. Really hoping that this game is going to be a little bit better for him at least, so... Because yeah, that was pretty nasty last game. Losing so many workers so quickly obviously puts you into a very difficult position. So good to see that trying to be addressed here as we settle down. Queen will fight. A couple of drones go down. The Oracle taking damage. Goes very low. Going to be trapped by the Queen that's already on the third that has no creep on it. The Lings get a wrap on the Adepts. Well, kind of. The Adepts actually shuffle away to the side. They're going to shade here. Oh, they don't get home, though, because the Lings should see where they are. They should be able to chase in time. The Oracle can activate. Can we actually save these Adepts? There's no way, right? The best we can do is just take some Lings down with them. And it was a couple of Lings, but absolutely worth finishing those Adepts off. Shin, yeah, getting an Oracle early, really nice. Because, again, I feel like one of the things from here in that first game was, like, you know, some of his tech was a bit later than usual. And there's a lot of reasons why, but one of them is he ended up building 4 Oracles total in the game. If you build a bit of Ek, you know, this is going to be the same here. He's going to build a 4th Oracle. So basically, he wants 3 Oracles on the map, but a 4th Oracle, that's gas. And gas is then going to not be there to build extra Stalkers, or it's not going to be there to, you know, start the Temple Archives as quickly. Right? There are going to be negatives to investing into this, you know, additional Oracle, plain and simple. That's how the game works. You can't just kind of build an extra Oracle and have no consequences to it. So, yeah, feeling the need for the 3rd Oracle to be out will cost him in other places. It's probably part of the reason why his Blink push was actually kind of weak the first time around in that first game as well. Gates coming online, the +1 and the Blink come through, a Stalker added on. Queens will transfer between the bases, the Oracle's still setting up. And the Queens will once again get in position there, just going to push the Oracle back toward the middle of the map. Another couple of Queens going to push the Oracle back again, so doing a decent job of just playing the denial for the moment, trying to shut this down, kick this away. Three drones dead. 3 drones going down. Again, the blink powder finished, +1 attack coming up. Additional gates all coming through. The Hydra Den, the roaches, +1 missiles, and that roach speed will continue to come about as the Lings will look for the wraparound on that robo facility. Stalker's going to get rid of a few more Zerglings as well. And the Oracles just continue to gather up with the Queens nearby. That 4th hatchery coming into play. This is going to be an important moment as herO starts to push up through the center. Get rid of an Overlord. The Stasis Ward's coming down. The Ling's trying to counterattack, but herO's been very good on the defense this time. And that's a dead 4th base. I don't think we saved this one. As that hatchery gets cancelled. The Roaches and the Queens have to pull back as well. The Overlord taking damage. This one attack. Mortal, Robobay continue to come through. Add a cannon on in there. Stasis Ward catches a couple of Lings and Roaches. The Queens going to go down. First Queen at least. The Oracle continue to activate and... just going to see the Queen and the Hydras together. Pushing away. Another Oracle just went down. So the Oracle falls again. Again, +2 attack. Extended thermal lens. Continuing to build for the moment. So all of that coming through. As a Hydra Queen Roach produces up. Add some Zerglings on. Hydra speed on the way. Stalker's blinking forward, and a couple of Oracles will continue to come into place. And again, Stasis just going to catch a couple of those Lings already. The Roach Hydra actually going to get rid of, 1 Oracle, but we walk into the next Stasis Ward, and you got to be careful about this. I mean, you got to know there's always going to be, or you got to assume there's always going to be another Stasis. The problem is always playing around the idea of, oh, there might just be one more Stasis. It's very frustrating because it feels like you can never really do everything that you want to do. SHIN 165 drones is kind of set up aggressively. We have an Immortal out. Actually on this side of the map as well. The problem with the Stasis, now you kind of get out of position. The Colossus shows up. Just don't think SHIN can win this. His army is just not good enough compared to what herO is working with. And herO capitalized. Not as, honestly, not as good of an early game this time around, but still showing up in this moment and looking way too powerful. I mean, SHIN is... Like I say, it's not like SHIN is dying because he's built too many drones. He doesn't even have that many workers. You would expect him to at least have a good amount of army. That's not the case. The Stasis Wards are kind of killing him as well. And through, this looks as though herO is right back on track. Man, it was such a hopeful first game of this series, and now down 2-1. SHIN is going to be back up against the wall, and I don't really know what he tries to do to mix it up right now. Like, this is really anything but ideal. Structure shots showing up as well, so just added problems to kind of deal with as you see a couple more of those Roaches. Very much so going down. The Zerglings running forward, getting picked off as well. Destructive shot to the top, going to hit a Hydra. The couple Queens back away. Themselves very much so continue to move through. The Stalkers are going to whack away at this, that, and whatever. And GG will be called as herO ends up taking game 3 of this series, and like I say, a 2-1 lead for him right now. We're going to have ourselves on the bottom left-hand side, a map away from making it to another finals. He is on fire lately. It is herO, our Blue Protoss. And in the top right, our red Zerg is going to be SHIN. You would like to see Stasis Traps hit friendly units? That'd be fun. What if Stasis Trap hits friendly... They can't be triggered by friendly units, but they can... If friendly units are in range, then they get caught in it. That'd be kind of interesting, though. So the enemy would have to trigger it, but then if you have stuff nearby, that also gets caught. Oh, that completely changed the dynamic of it. That'd be wild. Wild, wild, wild. Alright, well, we get ourselves underway here. Let's see if we have anything in particular that's going to come from these guys. I really have my eyes on SHIN. What are you going to do to try and create a replica of that first game? You know, what do we do to try and cause trouble, to make issue, to make your opponent feel uncomfortable? Because we've got to start doing something here. If we don't do anything, it's going to be rough. So you got to try and get something done. Kind of the go-ahead of it right now. So that is kind of where we sit and stand. Obviously, for now, just the probe nibbling about, trying to see if there's anything that may happen here. Bowling is going to chase. Probe taking some shots and pushed around. The Depths is going to shade again. The Link Speed coming about. The Hatch, the Queen coming through. The Stargate coming over as well. And they're just going to move about. One drone goes down. That's where SHIN really needs to be as good as possible. You can't afford to take damage against herO. Once you start taking damage, the entire game can fall apart so quickly, so gotta get on top of that ASAP. Oracle moving over, Warpgate coming over. Up the Nexus down to the third base. Again, the Oracle continues to build up. The Gateway going to be done very shortly. The Queen's going to get there as the Oracle gets rid of a couple of creep teamers, so we take those down. Nice little grab early on. For the moment here as the Oracle tries to get a drone or so. Trying to get something extra. Queen's going to come back over. The Oracle gets pushed back down into the middle of the map once again. The extra gates and the Twilight Council very much so continue to come through here. As the Queen fires, the Oracle gets pushed away. So far, so good. That's going to come about. The Resonating Glaives coming up. A couple of gates coming through. The Adept's going to shade into the third base. Here are the one mixing it up with that Glaives. Obviously could maybe actually work in SHIN's favor. If SHIN can find a good defense against Glaives where he struggled in other games, perhaps that could be his road to success. The problem right now, nothing but drones on the production tab. Lair building up. No Roadrunner in sight. This is lining up to be a complete disaster in terms of just the pure build order, never mind the execution of it, because there's not going to be anything that can stop and fight against Adepts without just falling apart. Those Lings wrap around, the Adept's going to get shaded. One more circle and gets picked off as well. Adepts going to shade right across. The Queens are going to be there. The Adepts will commit. Like I say, we've got nothing but Lings, so it's really hard to imagine that this is a defense from SHIN. And man, kind of a sad series because I think especially because the first game was like, oh, here we go, SHIN's playing. SHIN's come out and he's looking great. You know, the first series filled me with so much hope and belief and like, oh yeah, this is going to be great. And then, unfortunately,